First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for the fifth EU Arab Forum and inviting me for the fifth year with such distinguished guests. Indeed, the Euro-Mediterranean is an important place for all of us, and I've chosen this year to write about that maritime borders in the Mediterranean. This cradle of civilization deserves a civilized solution. Our world has several places that have served as genuine cradles of civilization, including China, Egypt, the Indus Valley, Mesopotamia, Mexico, and Peru. The Mediterranean, our Mediterranean, is indeed unique. However, for having incubated so many civilizations through so many stages of development over such a long period of time, from ancient Egypt and Phoenicia to classical Persia, Greece, Rome, and Carthage, followed by the Arab, Byzantine, and the Ottoman periods. Not to mention a variety of smaller and or shorter-lived empires and other entities. The shores of the sea, 2,500,000 square kilometers, have borne witness to more than share of history. This has brought great blessings to the peoples who inhabit the Mediterranean region, including some of the earliest and most important developments in philosophy, art, and science. These have led to historic progress in everything from agriculture, architecture, and astronomy to literature, medicine, and all manner of technology. Over time, each of these were nurtured and disseminated by early breakthrough in public administration, increasingly systemized forms of trade, and the first universities. Unfortunately, these various civilizations did not always get along. As a result, many of the structures they built, most of the advantages they enjoyed, and virtually all of the riches they have amassed have been lost, frittered away because successive generations failed to accept that always and everywhere, and whatever good fortune it promises, war is the costliest option. And now the region, the East, the Mediterranean, faces another crossroads. Recent years have brought the discovery of important and lucrative deposits of oil and natural gas beneath the seabed. Needless to say, however, the placement of these reservoirs is not always convenient for determining who owns that, particularly since the vast majority of maritime boundaries in the Mediterranean remain still unresolved. Instead, we have a patchwork of claims and counterclaims, each preventing the next from enjoying clear and unfettered access to a precious resource that could improve the fate of millions for generations and many generations to come. So we all have decisions to make. Today, we all have decisions to make, and most of them boil down to a single question. Do we want the benefits of our own rightful shares more than we want to deny the same benefits to our neighbors? A few decades ago, the issue would have been very different. The stronger states or groups thereof would have taken what they wanted by either threatening or actually making war, and the weaker ones would have gone without. But today, we live in a different era, one of which the United Nations strives to keep the international system rooted in laws and therefore, wherever possible, to settle disputes among states without resort to armed conflict or the threat thereof. Most importantly, for the purpose of today's topic, and yesterday's too, we have the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which was designed specifically to assist in the peaceful resolution of rival claims over maritime zones. UNCLOS laid down a single coherent set of rules governing how maritime borders are to be delineated and how overlapping claims are to be reconciled. For example, between Turkey and Greece, the overlapping claim is around 71,000 square kilometers. And according to the by the book United Nations equidistance, this can be resolved without going through armed conflict. The process relies on facts determined by science and the latest technologies, with any discrepancies interpreted according to legal precedents. The system works so well that even non-signatories of the UNCLOS treaty are increasingly accepted to be bound by it and or standards and principles for at least some purposes. In fact, of the past 24 maritime disputes resolved by bilateral negotiations, international arbitration, or adjudication by world courts or other qualified tribunal like the ITLOS, each and every solution has been a by the book one based on UNCLOS. At long last, therefore, we have both the legal mechanism and the high precision mapping technology today to draw up fair and equitable boundaries at sea. That means that countries in the Mediterranean region can definitely settle their difference amicably, setting aside the costly and ultimately self-defeating ways of war for a future based on cooperation for mutual benefit. And all of the Mediterranean guys are also bound by the Barcelona Treaty, TRES, the Euromed, and the Union for the Mediterranean. Never before have dialogue and diplomacy been so clearly the superior choice, not just for moral perspective, but even from a purely practical and pragmatic one. The cold, hard truth is that war is becoming a thing of the past. Finally, this unique cradle of civilization can have a civilized solution to one of its oldest problems. Thanking you one more time for inviting me, and good luck, and may God bless all of your endeavors. Thank you.